Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Topic 3. So, moving on to topic 3, we'll look at the climate of our country. So, what kind of weather conditions do our country report over a period of time? So, first of all, let's try to understand what do we mean by climate. Is climate and weather same, or climate is different from weather? Okay. So, climate is the weather conditions of a particular place that is recorded over a period of time, over a long period of time. That is climate. So, what is the weather condition like in India from June to August, from December to March? Okay, so that is the climate. But if we say what is the weather like in the morning in the month of December, or what is the weather like today in the evening? So that is weather. So that basically means the weather condition of a particular place over a brief or a short period of time. So that is the difference between weather and climate. And you should not be confusing weather with climate. They are completely different. Okay. So now let's get back to the climate of India. The climate of India is tropical monsoon, hot, humid with rain. Okay. But India's climate, it represents great varieties. Okay, the climate of India is varied, it's different, it's different at different places. Okay, the central and northern part of India, it experiences extreme climate. Okay, which means it's very hot during summer, but the winters are extremely cold. Okay, but if you come to the coastal areas, okay, on the east and west, these coastal states or the coastal areas have moderate climates. They do not have extreme heat, extreme chill. They have a warm and cool climate. Okay, so that is moderate. Alright. So here in the coastal states, like in the city of Calcutta, Kolkata or Mumbai, here the climate is moderate. So they do not have much difference between the temperatures in summer and winter. Okay, it's warm and cool. Alright. Now, if you come further down towards South India and the states which is located near equator, there is no cold. There's no winter. It's warm throughout the year. Okay, so they have summer throughout the year. So this shows that how different parts of our country experience different climatic conditions. Alright. Now let's look at some of the major or important seasons that we have in India. So there are 4 seasons in India. First is winter, second is summer, and then we have autumn, and then we have monsoon. Okay. Rainy or monsoon. Alright, so let's look at each of them one by one. The first one that we are going to look is the season of winter or the cold weather season. Okay, now this season, the winter season starts from December and ends in February. Here, during this time, cool dry winds blow from the north to south, and this wind brings very cold wind, okay, and cold weather. Now, temperature in the northern part of India is very low. Okay, this is why in Delhi, if you consider Delhi or if you come to Delhi during the month of December, then you find Delhi to be extremely cold because the wind that blows from October, and after October, Delhi starts getting cold. That means the temperature starts decreasing. Okay. And it gets even colder in the months of December and January. Okay. Now, if you go further north from Delhi, say for example Himachal Pradesh, there Kashmir, there it gets extremely cold during the winter season, and it also experiences snow. All right. So some of the places in the northern part of India, like Kullu Valley, Kashmir Valley, where it receives a lot of snow and then where it gets very cold during the winter, they have developed or become as very popular tourist spots. So people during winter, they go just to experience that winter and also experience snow. But in the south, the temperature is not that cold. So it is warm, okay, during winter. Now let's look at the hot weather season or summer. Summer lasts from the month of March to May, okay. During this time, hot, dry wind blows throughout the summer day, okay. So during the day, hot and dry wind blows. So this is called lu. Alright, very interesting term. So the hot dry wind which we experience during the summer day is the lu. Alright. Now the summer season ends with monsoon, with the arrival of monsoon. Okay, monsoon is basically wind. It's basically wind. Rain does not come, but the wind comes and that wind brings rain. Okay, so that wind arrives in the end of May and with that monsoon begins and summer ends. Okay. During the summer, the humidity is high, alright, and we also have a short rainstorm. This is towards the end of summer, okay, and we also have violent electrical storms and dust storms. So with the arrival of monsoon winds, we have high humidity, short rainstorms, short showers of rain, and violent storms and dust storms. Now let's look at the monsoon season or the rainy season. Okay, so the rainy season starts from June and ends in September. During this season, winds blow from the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, and these winds, monsoon winds, as they blow from these water bodies, they carry moisture, a lot of moisture. Okay, and they flow or they start to flow towards the mainland India. And as they strike these moisture-laden wind, as they strike mountain, because they're heavy, they cannot fly up. So they strike against the mountains, and as they strike, that causes heavy downpours or rainfall that we call. Okay. Now this monsoon which brings moisture and causes heavy downpour, this does not appear suddenly. The rainy season does not come all of a sudden, okay. The rain comes steadily, okay. It comes throughout the period, but then it happens, say for example, in the beginning, short showers and then goes on to heavy downpours, alright. Monsoon usually comes from the southwest. These monsoon winds with moisture-laden cloud, they come from the southwestern part of India. Okay, southwest. But another monsoon wind also comes from the northeast. Now this wind comes from mid-October to end of December. Now, as they come from mid-October to end December from northeast, they also now bring moisture and cause heavy rainfall. Okay? Mawsyn Ram in Meghalaya, in the state of Meghalaya, it receives the world's longest rainfall. So this particular area in Meghalaya receives or experiences heavy rainfall for the longest amount of time. Okay? But Jaisalmer in Rajasthan receives no rain at all. It is very dry. Okay, so you can see how there's a contrast where there's a place in India where it receives so much rainfall that it's not good. But there are other areas like Jaisalmer in India where it receives no rainfall at all, and that also is not good. Okay. Now let's look at the autumn season, or the season where the monsoon winds retreat or they go back. Now this season lasts from October to November. Okay, now here the winds, the monsoon winds which brought moisture, they retreat from mainland to back to Bay of Bengal. And this, because of how they are now going back, they are called retreating monsoon. Earlier they had come from Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea to mainland. Now from mainland they go back to the Bay of Bengal. Okay. Now as they retreat, as they go back, again they cause heavy rainfall on the way back in states of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Okay. So this is what the autumn season is like. Now, if we look at India, right, we have already understood how there are different physical features in India. Some places are dry and humid or dry and hot. Some places are mountainous and very cold. Some areas are coastal areas. Now, these physical features, the direction where they are located, okay, where they are located, and whether they are located near the ocean, near the sea or not, near any water body. All these factors play a very important role in forming the climate, the type of climate that India has. So basically what I'm trying to say is that climate of India is diverse, and the very idea of that, the reason behind, is because climate is affected by the area, okay, its location, its altitude, whether it's high or whether it's low, its distance from the sea, its physical features, etc. Okay, so because in India we have diverse physical features, we have varieties of the different landscapes and landforms, and whether they are close to the sea or not, or any water bodies. Because of that, we also have diverse climatic variations. We also have cold northern areas. Okay, the northern parts of India are cold, but the southern part is hot because it's close to the equator. The coastal areas are moderate, okay, climatically, because they are close to the ocean, so they do not have extreme weather conditions. But in the north, the weather conditions are extreme, so we have very hot summer and very cold winters. So this is because of how the regions are located, the altitude of those regions, their distance from the sea, as well as their physical features. Alright. So, like I said, places like Rajasthan, it has extremely dry and hot weather. But places like Kashmir, the state of Kashmir, has freezing snowy weather that you can barely sometimes survive. But again, there are places like Kolkata, Mumbai, on the coastal areas where the weather is moderate. They're not extreme. Okay, so this is a very interesting feature of our country.